Hey guys, Distler Magic here, and it's time for an off-topic video about politics because, I just haven't lost any subs lately. Then again, the type of person who would actually unsubscribe my channel because of this one video, that's the petty kind of just psychopath I really don't want on my channel in the first place. And, I said this is an off-topic video. It's kind of not because it involves everybody in America. So if you're from Europe or Asia or whatever, yeah, oh well, probably don't even watch this video, but for those of us in the US, this is very relevant to every last one of us, so it is kind of on topic with my channel. So how does the winner of the presidential race affect Magic the Gathering? Probably not at all. Although it might be illegal to literally be Trick Jarrett, because he's just that much of a psychopathic liberal, so that would be awesome, but other than that, it doesn't really affect the game. Regardless, this video should help anybody on any part of the political spectrum if you're unhappy with the presidential results. I'm just going to start off by saying it because it's going to come up eventually. I voted for Trump. More accurately, I'd say I voted against Hillary. I am pissed that he's going to be president, but I'm slightly relieved that it's not Hillary. So, according to some polls, up to 85% of you out there agree with me that you were pissed off about the two finalists. Well, if you rewind way back to the primaries, basically Trump was the nominee because way too many people are incredibly stupid in the Republican Party. Now, over on the DNC side of things, she was the nominee because she bribed and rigged and, everything. She just cheated. She basically cheated her way into the nomination. I mean, come on. Her husband, Secretary of State, yeah, she knew some folks over at the DNC and just rigged the whole thing against Sanders. Trump got nominated because people with IQs under 80 are still allowed to vote for some dumb reason. He seemed to have used his knowledge of business and his knowledge of PR and marketing and controlling people's thoughts and how to make an impression of a certain type to just be tricky as hell if you're an idiot. I watched a whole video on this from somebody who knows about these kind of tactics, and basically Trump would not show up to an event, not show up to a debate or something, and then hold another big event, like a rally on the same day, and then say something outrageous to get press coverage separate from the debate and take the focus off of the debate and all the other candidates and put it back on him. That's classic marketing and PR right there. It's like deflection or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a freaking expert. So he basically tricked everybody into voting for him just with mental manipulation and clever marketing, coming from his business background. And Hillary, well, one, people just thought she was electable because, hello, her history, her husband, okay, she's electable. And the whole email thing hadn't come out yet. And then she rigged just everything to just take a crap on Bernie Sanders, which I think he would have been just terrible as president. I think he has the same understanding of economics as my niece, and she's 3. He seems to think money comes out of thin air, and he doesn't know how taxes or large-scale economies work at all, even at a basic level. He was just a crazy idiot telling people what they wanted to hear, and people are like, oh, cool, free stuff. He's going to hand out free stuff. I'm going to vote for him. Just basically bribing people. So stupid entitled millennials were supporting him because, yay, free stuff, and I deserve that, and blah, 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 blah. Same kind of crap that sunk Italy and Greece. I don't even remember who I was supporting other than Trump. It was 2 or 3 different candidates, but they all kept dropping out, and honestly, one of them lost because the other one frickin' drop out. So a terrible sequence of events in both parties led to these morons being the nominees. So then we're stuck, everybody's pissed, and everything looks like Hillary's gonna win, but then at the last second, oops, looks like she did some more crap. The FBI is, throwing her under the bus after she pretty much probably allegedly threatened to kill all of them. If they indict her and open up a court case, yeah, they're gone, they're dead. Or even just if she won the election, guess who's fired? That guy from the FBI and all of his friends. Oh my God, now that she didn't win, they are gonna railroad her straight to jail. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. She is gone. And honestly, that's fine with me because as president, she would have been a disgrace. She's a lying, manipulating, fake, just awful person with an awful personal history. She's dishonest and immoral. Those are the 2 adjectives that describe her the best. Now, Trump, oh my God, he will just say anything to get elected. So he's not that far away from Hillary Clinton. Trump pandered to every single group to the level that she did. When she went down to Arkansas, oh, suddenly she has a Southern accent. That is the dumbest pandering I've ever seen. The most transparent, stupid, just, oh my God, I wanted to just smash my TV. But then Trump goes to the old white guy convention and goes, hey, scary minorities, woo, vote for me. And unfortunately, there's a boatload of racists in the Republican Party. Oh, and don't forget the boatload of SJW liberal, there's 76 gendered nutcases and, neo-feminists and all that crap in the DNC. So you can't go around saying everybody who supported Trump is racist, everybody who supported Hillary is a nutcase SJW, transgender, pro-everything, hyper-liberal, practically libertarian. In reality, they're just the loudest on the internet and have the most free time on their hands, apparently. In fact, I wouldn't even say that most people who, quote, supported Trump actually supported Trump. Initially, just as an idea, he seemed like a good candidate. Now, if you recall, at one point in the primaries, the top 3 Democrat leaders were all 3 not career politicians, and the top 3 Republicans were all 3 not career politicians. So that's the leading 6 people in the presidential race were all not career politicians. So that's what really started this. Otherwise, people would have just laughed Trump out of the running way ahead of time. People are so fed up with the U.S. government that they just want anything else. I mean, this was Ross Perot 2.0. I believe Ross Perot got the highest amount of votes for an independent presidential candidate ever. From what I heard, people after the election, when they saw how many votes Ross Perot actually got, because he was just a businessman, he was saying, I'm going to come in and just fix everything. I know math, I know business, I'm going to fix the taxes, I'm going to fix the economy, I'm going to fix everything. And he had no idea what anything about politics. He had no idea what he was doing. But people after the election said, if I knew he was going to get that many votes, I would have actually voted for him because it looked like he could have actually won. Like, everybody's like, oh, I support him, and then they wanted their vote to actually count. Well, fast forward a couple decades and you got Trump, okay? That's pretty much why he got successful right off the get-go. Now, even in the super liberal media, people were praising the fact that the top 6 people at that point were not career politicians. They thought it was a very positive thing. It's time to just sweep everybody out of office, get rid of the stupid, career politicians that are just liars and crooked and awful and never do what we want. It's just one scandal after another. And bring in anything different at all. They didn't care if they elected a chimpanzee as president. At least it wasn't a politician then. So I think that in general is a very positive direction for the U.S. to move because just politicians haven't been working for the last couple decades, obviously. It never does work. Unfortunately, we ended up with Trump, and obviously I told you how we ended up with Hillary, a career politician. It's because she rigged it. The very close second, Bernie, he was about as, anti-politician as possible. And yeah, he had a political background, but come on. So at least that's one positive to come out of it, and I guess you could say just Trump, okay, he's not a career politician, now he's in office, but then there's unfortunately, him as a person. But let's talk about that for a second, because what really pissed me off about the Obama election was people voted for him because he was black, the end. I mean, that's not just a made-up idea or a suspicion. That's what the polls said. People were like, I'm voting for him because I want a black president. That would be historic. They didn't know a damn thing about his policies. They didn't know anything about what he was running for except for a couple things that they latched onto that they said they could kind of like. Oh, I could get behind that. I don't care about the other 95% of his platform. And by the way, did I mention he's black? Well, it seems like this time around, they realized that they're not voting for Miss America. They're voting for the person who actually has to operate the country for the next 4 to 8 years. So, wouldn't it be historic and meaningful to have the first woman president? Who gives a crap? I don't care if she's a damn alien or a talking giraffe. It would be lovely to have a talking giraffe president. What a great step forward. But then there's her policies, okay? That's what people actually cared about is what are these two people going to do for the country? They have to actually run the country. So at least people learned from their mistake with Obama because his satisfaction rating is, a little bit down the toilet. Nobody's happy with half the crap he's done in his second term, and basically people are over the whole, first black president, that's so meaningful. Yay, race relations are all solved, there's no more racism. Oh, and then ironically, Obama pretty much just made race relations worse. So I talked about what led up to the election, what caused the two candidates to become the nominees, while now Trump won. Okay, so let's talk about the future Trump presidency for a bit. I am so sick and tired of the election being over and these brainwashed morons on social media still saying, oh my God, Trump's gonna take all the minorities and just put them on a bus and ship them off to the moon. It's a second Holocaust. It's literally Hitler. He's gonna put them in the gas chambers. Okay, you freaking morons. He never said that in the first place. He's not like, I like white people. If you're not white, get out of America. He said, hey, people entering America illegally is a bad thing. I'm going to send them back home and actually enforce our existing laws. And some people are like surprised by that. They turned into a race thing. Well, they turned into a race thing because they're like, oh, half my family is here illegally and I know it, but they're lovely people. So, all the laws should be bent just to suit me and my family, and people should be able to just do whatever they want. There should just be no laws. Yay, hooray, anarchy. Are you freaking kidding me? That is the most selfish ideology I've ever heard in my life, that, oh, people should be able to just walk into the country from Mexico because life in Mexico sucks, and instead of fixing their own country, they're going to come here, and the second they cross the border, +1 the unemployment stats. Then they work illegally, don't pay any taxes, and then they can walk into the emergency room and get treated for free because of our stupid laws. That is selfishness on a level that I never thought could even exist. What Trump said could possibly be summed up in a story. Okay, let's do a little hypothetical here. Okay, I get on a plane and I fly to Finland, okay? And then I just decide, I like Finland, I'm going to stay here. Yeah, I know, I'm well aware of their immigration laws and policies, but I'm going to blow it all off, not do any of that, and I'm just going to exist in their country. Then when their immigration officers find out that I've been living there for a couple months, they're like, you kind of need to fill out some paperwork, get, whatever Finland's version of a green card is. I actually have no idea how Finland does immigration. It could be open borders for all I know, but let's just pretend it's like America 2.0. Well, I don't speak a word of Finnish, and I just work a bunch of contractor jobs for cash, kind of go under the radar, because I know I'm breaking a federal law at that point. But then they find me and like, you're going to have to go ahead and leave our country because you did not follow any step at all in the proper immigration process. Oh my God, Finland is racist. They hate white people. They hate me. Oh my God, how dare they? I have a right to be in their country illegally and break their laws, damn it. Are you kidding? Put me on a damn bus and send me back to my home country. Immigration laws exist for a reason. One of them is to make sure that, as he said, drug dealers, rapists, and terrorists, and whoever the hell else wants to just walk across the border freely with nobody checking on them, those types of people would not make the background check to get into our country. So we probably shouldn't let them just waltz in off the radar either. And the stupid moron liberals in the media turn that into, oh my God, 100% of Latinos are racist. He is literally Hitler. How stupid of like a reading and speech comprehension skill would it take to actually think that that's what he said? So I was watching like the NBC coverage because I don't have cable and that's what my tuner would tune to. There was this guy throwing a fit. Oh, Trump said he's just going to take all the minorities and throw them on a bus, and he better not do that. And there's the army's looking up if they can even do this. They're checking the Constitution right now to see if they even have to, follow the president's orders. And if he says, oh, we're just going to invade this country, that country, that country, what do they legally have to do? Well, if anything, they should start by shooting him because he's just too stupid to be on TV. If I break a federal law, there are consequences. If I enter another country illegally, they're going to kick me out. That's what happens. That's the law. Get over it. It's reality. If you don't like it, that doesn't mean that the law doesn't apply to you, okay? I don't like speed laws because I could safely drive 100 miles an hour in a car. I have the reflexes for it. But guess what? Just because I don't agree with the law doesn't mean it doesn't apply to me. So the whole Trump's a racist, Trump is going to gather up all the minorities and send them back to another country, that is ridiculous. Shut up about that. You're just making yourself look like a complete and utter moron. As far as any other policies, keep in mind that pretty much everything that came out of Trump's mouth was a lie. It was just to get votes. He was just being a manipulative, like, PR marketing image guy. So whatever he thought people would vote for, that's what he said and that's what he pandered to. And I'm not saying Hillary was any different. Just because he told somebody, hey, we're going to be all pro-gun, yay, and then the NRA voted for him doesn't mean he's really going to do it. He's not a career politician. He doesn't owe anyone anything except for people who voted for him. And even then, I mean, one-term president, who cares? So if he has some just nutcase policy like we're going to build a space elevator to the moon so people can go vacationing on the moon. Well, there's this little tiny thing called Congress, and currently it's sitting at just about 50-50 Republicans and Democrats. I think it's like 48-49 with 2 independents. I don't know. That's probably not even 100. It's something like that. So if anything wants to get passed, it is going to have to be agreeable to both parties. Just think about that for a second. No new policies, no new laws, no anything other than executive orders are going to get passed unless they can get through Congress and be approved by a pretty good portion of both parties. That means no pure off-the-wall crazy liberal BS is going through Congress and no ultra-conservative BS is going through Congress. Nobody's just going to go all full-blown Republican and Republican president and just cruise through Congress with a, hey, billionaires all get a free pony law or something like that. Or now, oh, billionaires don't pay taxes, which is basically what the Republican Party has been doing. That don't fly in a 50-50 Congress, okay? Nothing is getting through unless the two major ideologies in America both agree on it. Okay, so all this, oh, Trump's going to ruin everything and this and that. Yeah, he could go to war with somebody for up to 90 days according to the Constitution, but he's not going to. He's not stupid. Wars are expensive. I think his foreign policy is a little bit aggressive, but he played it up for the election, and he's going to act a lot more like a reasonable person in actual presidency. But besides stuff that he can personally do and decisions he can personally make, which, remember, in U.S. politics is practically nothing, he has to go through Congress, and that is a good thing. And with those saying Trump's going to ruin the country, or those people saying that, oh, it's going to be another do-nothing Congress because they can't agree on anything, well, they're kind of contradictory, and it's probably going to lean more towards the second there. If nobody can agree on a bill, it's just going to die. If it's way too out there on the Republican scale, it's going to die, and if it's way too Democratic, it's going to die. Only moderate laws that people can actually live with on a whole and compromises are going to make it through Congress. That is the giant upside of having Trump as president. Well, and of course, the same thing could be said about Hillary. So, whatever policy she wanted, it would still have to get through a 50-50 Congress. Oh, and the Supreme Court could just outright overturn pretty much anything. I mean, the Supreme Court just dusted off the Constitution, got out a magnifying glass, and found out that it says gay marriage is legal. I read through the Constitution. I don't remember seeing that in there, but they somehow found it, so I'm pretty sure they could find anything. Maybe somewhere in the Constitution that says you're not allowed to name your kangaroo desolator. Who knows? They could come up with anything at this point because pretty much they're just legislating from the bench. So besides giant slaps in the face to democracy like that was, there are checks and balances in politics to keep one branch, like for example the head of the executive branch, Trump, from just going off the deep end and doing whatever he wants. The president is really only about 1/3 of the government. I think you guys are thinking that Trump's going to be the new dictator of the not Republic of America, the proletariat of America, I don't even know what you'd call it, the totally democratic Republic of North Korea, and just every decision he makes, boom, it's law, and everything he wants to do, boom, tomorrow they're starting it. They're building the wall tomorrow. Nope, that's not how government works. It's a little bit slower than that, and there's a little bit more people involved. So the whole Trump's going to ruin the country thing, it's unrealistic, stupid, and it's usually coming from people who are too young to have been through this and realize that no matter what policy somebody wants passed as president, they're probably not going to get passed. If there's one thing that you want to focus on, it's the universal stuff that pretty much everybody agrees that should be fixed, that Trump said he's finally going to fix. And it's just like tiny stuff. It's all these little tiny details that everybody in their daily life is pissed off about, and he said he's going to fix them. So if you want to be happy, focus on that. I mean, I think once in the entire 8 years, Obama got passed some kind of law that I absolutely said it's about damn time. Unfortunately, somehow a Democrat was in office and they didn't immediately fix, banking reform and investment reform. Like Wall Street had nothing happen to them in 8 years with a Democrat as president. That's just shocking to me. That was like the most anti-Republican thing ever. I'm like, well, okay, Obama won the election, but at least he's going to crack down on Wall Street. My God, we're coming right off that. Nah, he didn't do crap, and honestly, I don't remember what law he did pass that I agree with, but I'm like, okay, fine, it's about time somebody fixed that. And it wasn't the TV volume level for commercials either, it was a little bit bigger. Also, I don't think that was Obama either. The one major concern I have, because like I said, I'm not that thrilled that Trump is the person who won. I really wanted Hillary to lose, so, hooray, but not really. But the one thing that I cannot stand is the fact that he thinks global warming is, fake and made up and a conspiracy. Combine that with the fact that he's a businessman, and guess what's cheaper? Burning coal. What's cheaper? Burning oil. What's the best way to gain economic advantages against Europe and all of our enemies and every other country we don't like? Drill our own oil, burn as many hydrocarbons as we can. Now, while I don't like, sending $10 billion to Pakistan so that they can hand it directly over to corrupt government officials and the Taliban, and he said he'll stop doing that, I also don't like the whole, let's drill for oil everywhere, ruin the entire environment because screw it, it makes us money. Okay, I don't agree with that. But I do think that he was pandering to the complete morons who are climate change deniers because that's who's in the Republican Party in a small percentage. I think he absolutely knows it's real. I think he just changed his stance to get votes, and that's about it. If he started saying, hey, it's more economically viable to build a bunch of wind turbines because they're magical devices that spit out free money 24/7, good, he's correct, but it would lose him votes. So we'll see what he really does. I mean, it's not like Obama did really anything for the environment. Solyndra was a disaster, and then after that, he just kind of didn't touch it. Hopefully sometime in the near future, Trump either reveals, yeah, he does believe in global warming and he's going to do something about it, and just oil dependence in general, because honestly, from a business standpoint, yeah, oil dependence is bad, but drilling for our own oil isn't a viable solution. So hopefully he starts putting up some turbines everywhere and some nuclear power and just anything else. He could build a generator that just runs on hot air coming out of Hillary Clinton's mouth. Or just while she's in prison, put her on one of those bikes that has an alternator built in and she can spin us, 100 watts. So that's the number one thing that I care about. All the extreme crap that he said, there's no way in hell it's going to get through Congress. No way any of it's ever going to happen. None of it would even get past the Supreme Court. And anything he could do is far from the complete lunacy and corruption and lies that Hillary was running on. So overall, like I said, in the end, I'm pissed about who won, but I'm also happy about who lost. Hooray for cognitive dissonance, or whatever the hell it's called. The point is, everything I've heard from every butthurt liberal is a load of crap. Oh my god, we're gonna wake up tomorrow, it's gonna be illegal to be gay because a Republican won. Oh my god, I better leave the country to Canada and crash their frickin' website about immigration. No, shut up, you brain-dead SJWs. Seriously, some people just live in their own fantasy world. It's time to come back to reality, okay? It is not that bad, and having a lying, lifetime corrupt politician as president for 4 years would have been that bad. She is a miserable, horrible, terrible person. Honestly, so is Trump, but for less political reasons. At the end of the day, that is who should have won, and I'm glad that he basically just blew away any kind of polls or numbers or anything and managed to come out with the election. Oh, and keep in mind that almost nothing that president or the Congress or really the federal government does at all affects your daily life. Pretty much the state and local governments do. So, there's that. And if you're still triggered to oblivion after even listening to this, complete logic and reason in this video, then there's no help for you. I mean, maybe you should see a mental health professional because there's something wrong with you, but, whatever. So that's my political rant. Feel free to stay subscribed if you're not a petty idiot. And I can almost guarantee you that this is the last political video for another 4 years. Not only because that's when the next presidency is, but probably global warming is going to destroy the world in the next 4 years. Start strapping some spikes to your football shoulder pads because we're going Mad Max on this sucker. Anarchy, baby. Seriously, within like 3 years, it's just going to be the most powerful currencies in the world are gasoline, water, and magic cards, and people are just going to solve all their problems with magic duels. Better start practicing now and watch my How to Become Better at MTG series. I'll see you guys next video.